Good morning. So last time we have completed question number 1 of practice set 4.2. That is, we were doing concept of comparison of ratios. So today,
Arundhati
before
sir,
start, yes,
हाँ एक 1 मिनट अरुंधति मैडम.
yeah. So before starting with question number 2, there are certain concepts which is to be revised again, as we have done certs already. So even certs are required in this case. Some properties of parallelogram is also required. We should know circumference of a circle. We should know area of a circle. We should know what is diagonal. We should know what is square and its property. We should know what is rectangle and its property, and what do we mean by perimeter. So all these things, first I will revise this here, and then I will start with the problem. So let's start. When it comes to surds, how to multiply two numbers in surds? What do you mean by surd? Any number which is in the form of root, either it may be square root or it may be cube root or it may be fourth root and so on. Suppose if I'm asking you, I'm having two numbers in the form of surd, root A into root B. So what do we mean by this? We mean by this is that we have to multiply A into B, and which will be taken as a under root of A into B. So this property is very important. If say I am having root 2 into root 5, so its answer will be root 10. Why? Because root of 2 into 5, which gives me 2 into 5 is 10. So this is the answer. This is regarding surds. Similarly, we can solve the problem which is given in the textbook. This is a property very important. You should note it down. We'll be using it again and again. Next is that, what do we mean by radius? Fix distance from the center to the boundary. Fix distance from the center to the boundary gives me radius. And this boundary, only boundary, this boundary is called as circumference of a circle. Circumference of a circle. Always we denote as per requirement. Suppose if I'm having only one circle, so I'll be taking small r as a radius. If I'm having more than one circle, so one will be acting as r1, r2 and so on. It is not required right now. Only concentrate on how to take the notation. For radius, we'll be taking small r, and circumference of a circle is given by 2 pi r. You have to note it down. Huh? We'll be using this also. Circumference of a circle is given by 2 pi r, where 2 stands for it is a constant, pi is your irrational number. I hope you know the meaning of irrational number. Irrational number means it is a number of the form non-recurring and non-terminating. Its values are either 3.14, you can take approximately, we take 3.14, or we take 22 by 7, and r stands for radius. This was regarding circumference and radius. Now suppose somebody is asking you what is the area of a circle. The area of circle is given by pi r square. As I explained you, pi stands for irrational number and our radius is r, and it is being taken square
Sir,
time, means r into r. Hello.
sir,
Yes, ma'am.
sir, please don't write down. It's not visible.
Okay, ma'am. So area is given by pi r square, where pi stands for irrational number and r stands for radius. So it is being taken two times, means r into r. So which gives me r square. Now regarding diagonal, What do you mean by diagonal? Diagonal means connecting two opposite vertices of any quadrilateral. Normally we take square or rectangle. Suppose I'm having a square, say A, B, C, D. I'm joining AC. So this will be acting as a diagonal. Even BD is a diagonal, but AC is called as principal diagonal and BD is called as non-principal diagonal. So here AC is diagonal as well as BD is diagonal. Now, and how to find area? Area is given by side square. As all the sides of a square is equal, suppose say side of a square is given by L. So area is given by L into L, area L square. And this is a concept which is being required for the square. And also we know that all the angles of a square are 90 degree. So suppose if if I'm to find AC, so I'll be taking any of the part below diagonal or above diagonal. Say I'm taking the part of square which is below diagonal and it is given by A, B, C. So if I have to find AC, here I got right angle triangle. So this is hypotenuse and these are sides. So the formula by Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square of hypotenuse is equal to sum of square of sides. Here two sides are AD square plus BC square. In this way we can obtain AC square. So this is the concept regarding square. Rectangle, we know that rectangle, it is a quadrilateral in which all the angles are 90 degree, means right angle. Opposite sides are equal, not all sides are equal, but opposite sides are equal, and its area is given by length into breadth. Area is given by length into breadth, and its perimeter. Perimeter means boundary. Boundary means the outer part. Only this line. This is called as boundary. So perimeter. We can see that two length and two breadths are involved. So this will be 2 times length plus breadth. This gives me perimeter of a rectangle. So let's start with the problem of practice set 4.2, that is question number 2. I hope you have revised the concept that we have done last time, that is comparison of ratios. In case you have not revised, I'll be giving short review. A by B is greater than C by D if AD is greater than BC. A by B is equal to C by D if AD is equal to BC. A by B is less than C by D if AD is less than BC. This concept that is called as comparison of ratios is required to solve the further problems. So let's start with question number 2, first one. What is given? The ratio of radius to circumference of the circle. Just now we have done regarding radius and circumference. Let question number 2, first one. Let r small r be the radius of circle. So therefore, ratio of radius upon circumference is equal to, as we know that small r stands for radius and circumference is given by 2 pi r. 2 pi r in the sense they are in the form of multiplication, that is r upon 2 into pi into r. You can cancel r. What remains? 1 upon 2 pi. So therefore, radius is to circumference is equal to 1 is to 2 pi. I hope you understood. Very simple thing. Just you have to assume r circumference formula we know, and r stands for radius of the same circle. So r upon 2 pi r, which is in the form of multiplication. You can cancel the same term which is present in numerator and denominator. Cancel them and get the answer. That is, your answer is 1 upon 2 pi, which can be written in the form of 1 is to 2 pi. Now second one. The ratio of circumference of a circle with radius r to its area. So now this time they are saying find the ratio of circumference to the area. So let r small r be the radius of circle. So therefore its circumference is given by 2 pi r and area is given by pi r square. So therefore circumference upon area is equal to, we know that circumference is given by 2 pi r, just replace circumference by its value 2 pi r. We know that area is given by pi r square, replace by its value. Now write in the form of multiplication, 2 into pi into r upon pi into r into r. You can see that same terms present in numerator and denominator, that is pi gets cancelled, r gets cancelled. What remains? 2 by r. So therefore therefore I hope this is visible. Therefore circumference is to area is equal to 2 is to r. So this is the solution for second one. Now let's do third one of question number 2. The ratio of diagonal of a square to its side, means diagonal upon side they are asking this time. If length of side is 7 centimeter, now the concept of square is required. What is given? They have given a square. They have given a square. Say a square is ABCD. And length of a side is 7. All sides are equal of in case of square. So it is 7. So diagonal. Here we can see that our diagonal is AC according to the figure. We need to find AC upon any of the sides. So all the sides are same, so you can take any side, whatever you feel like. So let small d be the diagonal of a square, and sides of a square are given to be 7 centimeters. So first we need to find the diagonal. So as I've told you how to find diagonal in case of two sides are given. So d square is equal to 7 square plus 7 square means sum of side squares. This is by this is Pythagoras theorem, and 7 square plus 7 square is 2 times 7 square. It's adding 7 square. This is 1 times 7 square. This is second time 7 square. So it becomes 2 times 7 square. So we need to find d. D equal to, taking square root on both sides. So it will be 2 into 7 square. Now the property I've told you regarding surds. This can be written as root 2 into root of 7 square. That is root of a into b is equal to root of a into root of b. Now you know that what do we mean by square root? Square root means we are having half in the power. Half in the power. So root 2 into 7 square, and this root says this is half. So 2 upon 2. 2 gets cancelled. I hope you understood this. 2 gets cancelled in the power. This you have done in your search. So what do we get? 7 root 2. 7 root 2, which is centimeter. As since unit is given. So what they're asking you to find ratio of diagonal. That is D is to ratio of diagonal to side. So diagonal is to side is equal to diagonal upon side is equal to, value of diagonal is 7 root 2 upon side is 7. Both are centimeters. As been told earlier, if they are not in the same unit, you have to convert in same unit, and at last you will be getting answer in the form of unitless quantity. You won't be having any unit. Why? Because in ratio, both the terms which is present in numerator and denominator, they're having the same unit, and at last they cancel the units, and what remains is constant. So 7 gets cancelled. What remains? Root 2 upon 1. Our answer is root 2 is to 1. So we have completed our question number second, third one. So this is the final answer. So we got answer. This need to be understood. If you know search properly, then only you can understand. In case you don't know search, first revise that concept and then apply here. You will get the step very easily. Yeah, next. Fourth. But even though right now, if you don't know search, then also I have done it in a very simple manner. Otherwise, after this step, I would have directly written this. This is very much required to understand. This is value of root from this. This is the reason. I have written root of a as, means root of 7 as 7 in the power we are having half. So now question number 2, fourth. The length of, now in this case we are having rectangles. Now length of sides of rectangle are 5 centimeter and 3.5 centimeter. Find the ratio of its perimeter to area. Now this time they are asking us to find the ratio of perimeter to area. Now we have done rectangle also. Since given that length of rectangle length of sides of rectangle are 5 centimeter are 5 centimeter and breadth are 3.5 centimeter. To find So we'll try to convert this length and breadth in the form of L and B. We'll be using shorthand notation because always writing length and breadth it will be time consuming. So better L stands for length and small b stands for breadth. So we are asking to find perimeter is to area of a rectangle. So we know that perimeter of a rectangle is given by 2 times length plus breadth. So 2 times, what is the value of length? Length is given by 5 plus value of breadth. We have taken it as, or it is given as 3.5, you can say. So 2 into 5 plus 3.5 is 8.5 centimeters and is equal to 8.5 into 2. So this is 17. You can calculate it. Very simple calculation. 2.5 centimeters. And similarly, you can find area. Area is given by length into breadth. That is, length is 5 into 3.5. So, what we will get? Answer is 17.5. And when we take ratio perimeter is to area, that will be 17 upon 17.5. This is very simple. So at last we got perimeter is to area as 17 divided by 17.5 or 17 is to 17.5. Now, the comparison of ratios, problem based on comparison of ratios, that is being included with the problems of the type SERTs. So question number 3 first. As we have done concept earlier only. So no need to worry. Only thing you should be very much thorough with your concept of SERTs, which is very much required now. Be using again and again, because almost every problem of question number 3 includes a problem of the type SERTs. So compare the following pair of ratios. They are asking you to compare the following pair of ratios. Your question number 3, first one. What they have given? They have given you root 5 upon 3, comma 3 upon root 7. So we need to do comparison. Now, if it would have a number of the form without search, then it was very simple. Just multiply, compare, and get the answer. That is a by b, c by d. In that case, just do cross multiplication and get the answer. In that same manner, we have to do here also. But only the thing, we are having the terms of the type search. So here, solution, we need to do comparison. So better find root 5 into root 7. Root 5 into root 7. This is of the type root A into root B. So this is root 5 into root of 5 into 7. Just give the reason if in case you have forgotten or whatever I have explained, you have missed that time. So since root of A into root of B, answer is root of AB or root of A into B. This is the property that we are using. So here 5 into 7 or 7 into 5 is 35. So we got root 35. And from this, we can understand this part is less than 6. Yes or no? Because we know that root of 36, we can say, since root of 36 is 6. Root of 36 is 6. As we are having root of 35, it is very much clear that the root of 36 is 6, and root of 35 will be little bit less than 6. So from here we can conclude that it is less than 6. And second part also 3 into 3, it is 9. So as this term is less than 6, so by default, or we can understood that it will be less than 9. So from here we can conclude that root of 35 is less than 9. So therefore, root 35 gives me this. This part is means numerator. This is A. So AD. So this was root 5 by 3. Root 5 by 3 less than 3 by root 7. This is by comparison of ratios. This is by comparison. Or you just need to write the statement if required, or you can say it directly by since comparison by of ratio. This was the first problem. It was very easy. As we'll proceed, it will become very tedious. Not that tedious, but if you are good in multiplication and you are good in search, then you can easily get through all problems. Not that big deal. So second is root of 3 root 5 upon 5 root 7, comma root 63 upon root of 125. So again, what you have to do? This is your A, B, C, D. A into D, B into C. Just multiply and we have to compare accordingly. Solution 3 root 5 into root of 125. Again, same rule. What we have used here? We have used root of A into root B is equal to root of A into B. So this is 3 into root of, as 3 is not having root, keep it outside. This is without root. Only root will get multiplied. You have to make sure that what is in the terms of root and what is not in terms of root. Which is not in terms of root, keep it aside. And in the form of root, we are having 5 and 125. So keep them together under root. And 5 into 125. 5 into 125 is 625. If you know. In case you don't know, I'm solving this for you. 5 5 is 25, 5 to the 10, 12, 5 to the 5, 1, 6, 625. So this is 3 root of 625. I'm writing 3 and not writing into makes the sense that if we don't have any sign in between, that is assumed that they are in the form of multiplication. Until and unless we put any sign here, we should not take or we should not assume any other sign. If sign is not being displayed or is being inserted in between, means it should be understood that they are in the form of multiplication. Now, also we know that when we multiply, or we know that 625 is given by 25 into 25. Why we are bringing in this form? Because we require the perfect square root of. So 25 into 25. So 5 5 is this is not visible, I think so. I will be doing it out. Twenty-five into 25. So here 5 5 is 25. 5 to the 10 to 12. Take into. Into in the sense 0. So 2 5 is 10. 2 to the 4. Plus 1. That is 5. This is 5. This is 2. 6. So I can write 625 as 25 into 25. So 3 into root of 25 into 25. So this is 3, and whenever we are having root, under root we are having two terms, so that root converts the two terms into a single term. So root of 25 into 25 will convert it into 25. So answer is 3 into 25 is 75. See, we got it as 75, that is A into D. Now we'll be solving 5 root 7 into root of 63. This is 5 into root of 7 into 63. So what is the answer of 5 into root of 63 into 7? So 63 into 7 is 441. You need to check this. You will be getting this answer when you multiply 63 by 7. So answer will be 441. And when we do 21 into 21, 1 ones are 1, 2, 2 ones are 2, 2 to the 4. So we're getting 1, here 4, here 4, 441. So we can write this 441 as 21 into 21. And any term which is being taken twice, under the root, that will get converted to single term into 21. So when we multiply 5 into 21, this gives the answer 105. So from here, we conclude that 105 is greater than, therefore 75 is less than 105, or you can say 105 is greater than 75. Therefore, our conclusion is that 3 root 5 upon 5 root 7 is less than root 63 upon root of 125. This is our solution for second of question number 3. Now, third one, very easy. Third is very easy. You can try by yourself as there is no certs. I'll be doing, which is very simple. You can try it by yourself. I'll be doing fourth one for you. Third is homework. Question number third. You can try by yourself. Question number fourth. I'm doing for you. That is root of 80 divided by root of 48, comma, root of 45 upon root of 27. You should be ready with your pencil so that you can do calculations easily. Or pen, whatever you have. So solution, root of 80 into root of 27. A, B, C, D. So A into D, B into C. I have to do like that. So this will be, just do your multiplication. So what is the answer? 80 into 27. So 7 zeros are 0. 7 eights are 56. Again 0. So 2 zeros are 0. And 2 eights are 16. So 0, 6, 11, 2. The answer is 2160. This is root of 2160. And I don't think so it has any perfect. It is not any perfect square root of. So better keep it as it is. Next. Also, root of 48 into root of 45. If you will multiply, you will see that you are getting the same number. Please check. You are getting the same number. So therefore, you need to multiply this. This is like root of 48 into root of 45 and root of 48 into 45, which you will be getting as root of 2160. So from here we conclude that therefore root of 2160 is same as root of 2160. So therefore, I'll be writing on upside of the board. So therefore, root of 80 upon root of 48 is same as root of 45 upon root of 27. So from here we are learning how to compare two ratios, when it is said to be greater, when it is said to be less, when it is said to be equal, even though it is not in the form of a simple natural number, then you can, even though you can compare it, it is in the form of surd. It is a very interesting concept that can be used in your day-to-day life. So now, last problem, that is question number third, fifth one, 9.2 when divided by 5.1 and another ratio is 3.4 when divided by 7.1. What is the relation between them? So same. No need to worry because when the same form, only thing the decimal is given. Either you can multiply and divide by 10 and get them converted in the form of the fraction without decimal, or you can solve it as it is given. So I'll be solving as it is given. Even you can try it in that manner. That is an alternative method. If you feel like you can try. So solution 9.2 into 7.1. So 9.2 into 7.1. We'll multiply this. 1 to the 2, 1 9 the 9, 7 to the 14, and carry, and 7 9 the 63. 64. So 2, 9 plus 4, 13, carry, 5, 6 as it is. How many digits are there after decimal? Or before how many digits they are having a decimal? Here we can say it is 1 and here it is 2. So before 2 you can put decimal. So 1, 2. From here you have to count 1, from here you have to count 1. In case suppose we are having a digit, 2 digits, and after before that we are having a decimal. So here 0.01 into say 7.2. So whatever answer you are going to get now, you are going to have 3 digits before, after you have to put the decimal. You have to put the decimal, and after that we should have 3 digits. So decimal before 3 digits you can say. In case of 2, you have to just add 2 plus 1. So this is 3. And here we are having 9.2. So from here we can conclude that we are having 1 digit after decimal. Here 1 digit after decimal. That is 1 plus 1, 2. So we have to put decimal, and after that we should have 2 digits. Answer is 65.32. Now 5.1 into 3.4. This part you should calculate. I have done this for you. We'll be getting an answer as 17.34. This part you should try 17.34. So from this we can easily see that 65.32 is greater than 17.34. After decimal, you should not read it as 34 because after decimal, its value decreases. It is not actually 3. We always read it as 17.34, whatever the number is, not as 34, which is incorrect. So here we will be reading as 65.32. So after comparison, we conclude that 9.2 divided by, or ratio of 9.2 to 5.1 is greater than 3.4 to 7.1. So we have completed question number 3. Now we'll start with question number 4. First, what is given? Quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. The ratio of angle A and angle B of this parallelogram is 5:4. Find the measure of angle B. So basic properties required actually. They have given the ratio of two angle in the sense adjacent angle. Ratio of two adjacent angle of a parallelogram is given, that is 5:4. And they're asking you to find the measure of angle B. So first we will draw a rough diagram, rough sketch we can say. Having a parallelogram. So property of parallelogram says that opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel and adjacent angle. Now what do you mean by adjacent angle? Angle adjacent to A is B and D. Angle adjacent to B are A and C. Angle adjacent to C are B and D. Angle adjacent to D are A and C. D and B are not adjacent. A and C are not adjacent. And similarly, as I've told you that what is adjacent to what. So property says that if we are having two adjacent angles, then they give me a sum of 180 degree. Or you can say adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. Adjacent angles of a parallelogram supplementary. Supplementary means 180 degree. So we can say that as they have intentionally asked for angle A and B, so we will talk about A and B. And also one thing that if we say that, as we have done in our first lecture, two terms are in ratio, means they are having some common multiple. If we know that common multiple, then well and good. In case we don't know the common multiple, we need to find out. For example, if I am saying that some or two things are in ratio, say half, that is 1:2. So it can be 4/8, or it can be 50/100, or it can be 100/200, etc. So it depends, as we don't know the common multiple. Right now, suppose we are having 4/8, then our common multiple is 4. 4 is a common multiple. If we are having number 50/100, then our common multiple is 50. If we are having 100/200, then our common multiple is 100. So these are called as common multiple. Now just we need to apply this concept on this problem. The ratio of angle A and angle B, the ratio of angle A and angle B of this parallelogram is 5:4. They are in ratio. And also they are adjacent from this diagram. So we got two properties. So before starting, say let the common multiple of and what will be their form. And at last they have asked to find the measure of angle B. So how to proceed? Let's see. Very simple. Just start with common multiple, then use the property of supplementary, put the values, get the answer. Problems are very easy. Just need to be understood properly, and then it is to be executed. If your calculation is good, you can get full marks without losing any with proper justification. So we'll start question number 4 first. Let x be the common multiple of angle and angle B, which is in the ratio given as 5:4. Therefore, as it is having some common multiple, 5 will become 5x. We have taken common multiple as x, as I have explained you here. Angle B will become 4x. Also, adjacent angles of parallelogram are supplementary. So therefore, angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Since they are adjacent angles. So therefore, value of A, angle A is 5x. Value of angle B is 4x. 180 degree. So add them. 5x plus 4x is 9x, which is equal to 180 degree. So therefore, x equal to 180 degree. It is in the form of multiplication on left hand side. When it will go to right hand side, it will be in the form of division. After dividing by 9, we are getting x as 20 degree. So therefore, angle A is equal to 5x, which is 5 into value of 20. And value of x as 20. That is 5 into 20 is 100 degree. And angle B is equal to 4x, which is 4 into 20. So I got it as 80 degree. Hope you have understood. So I found both the angles, that is angle A and angle B. But since they have asked only for, therefore, at last you should state this, the measure, as they have asked for angle B. Therefore, the measure of angle B is equal to 80 degree. I will explain this once again. So this is the required answer and solution for question number 4 first. Since they have given us quadrilateral ABCD, which is said to be a parallelogram, and after that they have given us two angles in the ratio 5:4. They have given us angles in ratio means they are in the form of some multiple, some common multiple. So we don't know that multiple right now. So we have assumed that multiple to be x. And one more property, that is adjacent angles of parallelogram are supplementary. So we have used that also. After taking x as the common multiple, we got A as 5x and B as 4x. After using the property of adjacent angles and substituting their corresponding values, we got value of x. And at last, after getting the value of x, because our intention was to get the value of x, after getting the value of x, the substitute to the assumed value, that is 4x, replacing x by its actual value, that is 20. So 4 into 20 degree is 80 degree. Hope you have understood. And my time is done. Ma'am? Almas ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Now, students, our next lecture will be by Supriya madam, and she will be teaching you history. And the topic for history 9th standard is lesson number 6, and empowerment of women and weaker section. So, madam, please, you can